Hi guys, Ray here from City Fan TV. John by Bernard. The beat in the bang.
They're being the bloody freezing at the moment, mate. It's bloody
that
cold.
cold?
Took my house coat off to be on camera. I'm bloody freezing now.
You probably wearing more than me. I've just got a vest
I've got
on.
two hoodies and a shirt, but I'm still. We don't have the heating on. I can't afford it. I'm old. I can't afford the heating on in the house. So you know.
Hey guys,
I've got a hot Ribena, but it's cold now.
waiting for me. Guys, lovely to be back. It's been a while. I think I did a video a few days ago about the fast that was the Ballon d'Or. You might want to go and watch that. You know, I was a little bit on what I was 50-50. Half of me was annoyed because it should have gone to a City player, and half of me doesn't care because it's a nothing award these days. It's meaningless, as Johan Cruyff basically said. It's a bunch of journalists and people voting for their friends. That's what a lot of these competitions are. But there you go. I'm joined by Bernard because we're going to look at the Bournemouth game. City playing Bournemouth in the Premier League on Saturday lunchtime. That's a rarity, isn't it? A 3 o'clock kickoff.
There's been a few this season, mate. There's been a lot of 3 o'clocks. We're not worth watching now. We're not worth putting on telly anymore. We're that good.
Oh dear! And look, we could kick off on Saturday after Man United hopefully get beat at Fulham. So we'll be whatever happens, we'll be in a good mood, I think. And then obviously after City's game, there's Newcastle versus Arsenal. That's going to be a bit of a humdinger, I think. So Saturday,
Spurs playing.
Spurs. Do you really care about Spurs?
Well, eventually, yeah. I mean, I'm not that bothered at the moment, but if they stay up, it's like Arsenal. We didn't care about them until we got towards the end of the season, did we?
Spurs are playing a lot of Monday games. So they're playing on Monday at home to Chelsea. Liverpool away to Luton on Sunday. Back to 4:30 kickoffs on Sunday. So let me pull up my fixtures for Bournemouth because, I'll have a look where they are. Let's tell you a little bit about Bournemouth. Okay, last 5 games, they've won 1, lost 4. They're on 6 points after 10 games. They've only scored 8 goals, and they've let in 21. So they're gonna have a few Barreses and Maldinis on the pitch on Saturday, I'm sure. They're 4th from bottom at the moment, struggling.
One of my favourites to go down, of course. One of my 3 to go down, Bournemouth. So they're not.
Who did you have then? You had Bournemouth, Sheffield United, and Luton.
Yeah.
I had Sheffield United, Luton, and Everton, who are in the.
Well, they're on the way up, mate. Everton, I think you've lost with that one.
Yeah, they've won 3 out of the last 5. But having said that, they're only on 10 points. So,
but usually the crap of this, it's when it's the end of the season they start to get a few wins, but obviously they're a bit a purple patch.
Yeah. So Bournemouth, they're doing. It's not great.
They took a big chance, didn't they? That manager. I mean, he's done okay in the Spanish second division.
Yeah,
he got a couple of promotion. He got to teams that hadn't been often in cup semi-finals to semi-finals, but they took a big chance with him. And it's early days. I mean, obviously, O'Neill did a reasonable job, didn't he, before he went? And
it was a fantastic job, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a shame because he could find his way on the way out, and I think he just needs a bit of time. They brought players in, not fantastic. They lost a couple of players, so in theory, if he's any good, he'll get a tune out of them. But they played all right against Liverpool last night. As we're recording this, of course, they lost to Liverpool in the Carabao, didn't they? 2-1. And I thought they played quite well in that game, and it could have gone either way.
I mean, I agree that they took a risk with this new fella. I'm surprised to let Gary O'Neill go. He's doing quite well at Wolves. Wolves are mid-table. Out the last 5 games, I think they've won a couple and drawn 3. Hey, they're beating us, and they sold some of their best players. So, but they're still knocking about. So, as I said at the beginning of the season, I said he'll keep them up. I think they'll do all right. I think he's got something about him. Quickly look at the Bournemouth stuff before we go on to City. So they started the season with a draw against West Ham. They lost to Liverpool. And I don't think any of these results are a massive surprise. They lost to Spurs. They drew with Brentford. That's commendable. They drew with Chelsea, lost to Brighton. They lost to Arsenal. We got battered 4-0. They lost to Everton. That would have hurt. They lost to Wolves and they beat Burnley. So that's all.
That was another one where probably a draw was a fair result. Burnley was slightly unlucky, so they're not they're not exactly setting things alight. They're just trundling along, really.
I think they're getting the results you'd expect. You'd expect them to get beat by Brighton and Arsenal and Liverpool and whatever and Spurs and pick up points against other teams that are around them in the bottom. So I kind of think they're doing what we expect. We are not doing too bad, obviously, but I mean, Newcastle embarrassed us last night. We was recording this on Thursday morning by beating United 3-0 in the Carabao Cup, because it just shows anybody can beat United these days comfortably. But joking aside, we're doing all right. We're up there. We're duking it out at the top of the table. We are roughly where we want to be. Sat there third in the table, 24 points, 2 points behind surprise leaders Spurs. And I don't think we've hit our straps yet. But, I mean, my personal opinion is we didn't play brilliantly against United, but they're really bad at the moment. Whereas I think some fans are saying we were awesome and it was better than the 6-1. And I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that.
No, come on, flipping heck.
Carried
away. We could have done better, but we play within ourselves. I think. I don't think this battering teams. Of course, our goal difference is okay, but our goals for is a lot less than previous seasons, isn't it? And I think that's because we mentioned it before. Gundo and KDB. Those are the two key elements to that. I think of us not scoring enough, and also because I think Ireland probably was missing as many as he's missing now. We've said that he's scoring, but he's missing probably for every one he scores, he's missing two. I think of what he should be scoring or get a good chance with. But
I think at this stage last season he'd scored 13. Something like off the top of my head, something like that, and got 3 assists. And I think now he's got a couple of assists and 9 or 10 goals, so just a few behind. But a few extra goals does make a difference. And I think probably in the first 10 games last season, we might have battered United 6-3. I think we did that one. So there's a couple of batterings in there because he had. I think we beat Forest 5-0 as well, or something, because he had a couple of early hat tricks. But we are in the league where we'd want to be, up there, and knocking it out with the other, duking it out with Liverpool and Arsenal. And we're up there. We'll take that, especially without KDB. So we've got plenty more, I think, in reserve. Looking at this game against Bournemouth, everybody's expecting us to win. Everybody's expecting us to win comfortably, even handsomely. And I guess you and me are going to agree that that's what we're expecting.
Yeah, I mean, I think Moz is going for 4-0. I won't tell you my score till the end, but I mean, we're not being cocky. Anything less than a substantial victory. Unless we go down to 10 men or something stupid, if someone throws a wobbler, then that might limit it a little bit. But it'd be interesting. It all really works on what Pep's 11's going to be, doesn't it? Which obviously I do with my little things and link in there, and that's really going to decide this game tomorrow. What team he puts out with a Champions League game coming up on Tuesday. All right, not a difficult Champions League game, so he can afford to go reasonably strong. Of course, he's got more problems with that one with Chelsea coming up the week after for the international break. So this one, I don't see why Pep should go anything but strong with it. He shouldn't take any chances.
I totally agree. The Champions League, we're almost through. We've got 9 points. Young Boys and Red Star have got 1 point each. We're, for all intents and purposes, through. And if we draw against Young Boys, we're through because we've beaten everybody. So I don't care. I'm not even thinking about that game. I'm just focused on the league now, and I think this is the game this weekend, you put out your strongest team, even though you'd expect to beat Bournemouth. You put out your strongest team, try and put them to the sword, make your changes for Tuesday night, and then back to your strongest team at weekend. We've got the luxury that we've had no Carabao Cup game this week. We've had all week to get everybody obviously fit and prepared for this game. It's our focus. So we might as well, I reckon, go through what you reckon the team is going to be, Bernard. I'll start you off. Edison.
Well, I do expect Ortega might start against young boys, but I think he might save him for the last two Champions League games before we see Ortega again. I'm hoping so anyway, because Edison needs to play. Edison needs to get game, time. So yeah, I think you're fairly safe with that. I'm going to throw one interesting one into you that a guy who didn't play the last game. Just to throw it out of, I'm not going to go straight onto the back four. That'd be boring. I think he'll put Kovacic back into this.
Wow.
And on the basis that I think Kovacic will allow, obviously, Rodri and Stones, who I both think will play, to push up a little bit more.
I find that having Kovacic, Stones and Rodri, don't you feel that maybe we might be over-defensive with our midfield there? Or do you see, well, having said that, Rodri's creating so many opportunities. He's starting so many attacks, and maybe he deserves to go a bit further forward.
That's it, because we're missing that. I saw a stat on the, was it about where most of our final third attacks are taking place, and obviously the right-hand side's fairly weak, isn't it, on that point of view? And I was thinking of having Lewis, of course, and Foden up the right-hand side. And of course, what worked so well the other day, Grealish, and
Bernardo
on the left-hand side, which worked really well the other day. And obviously, the trouble with this team, there's 4 or 5 players that are missing out that could easily start it. That's the problem we got at the moment. If we'd had a Carabao Cup game, we could have, had 5 or 6 players who perhaps aren't, even without people like Phillips and Gomez, who are not getting as much chance as they deserve, I think.
Yeah. Okay, let's quickly go through the team then, since my missus is standing here, waiting to feed me. Well, feed herself.
Feed me.
Oh, feed me. No, I've had so much food in the last 24 hours. Could have fed.
So I'm going Lewis. I'm going Lewis for Walker. I'm going Lewis.
I like that. Lewis.
Diaz
Stones. On the left?
Now, obviously, I've gone for Aki rather than Gvardiol, but again, it could be either way.
Yeah, I agree. And then you've got Rodri and Kovacic. Then on the left, Bernardo and Grealish. On the right, you've got Foden. And have you got room for Alvarez then? Or have you got 12 players?
No, that's what I'm saying. Alvarez said he's one of the 4 or 5 that's not starting again.
Actually, thinking about it, I think Alvarez probably would be more. I
thought he was okay. I thought he was one of our weaker players against United. I thought he was okay. Don't get me wrong. He does enough. Of course he does. But
I'm thinking Alvarez would probably, if you said to him, you can only play one of these 2 games. You want to play the Champions League or the league against a team that's 4th bottom? I think he'd go for Champions League. So I'll go along with that. That's quite decent. So I'm going to finish off, mate. I'm going to tap you for a score prediction.
Yeah, I'm going to go 5-1. I'll give him a goal, 5-1.
You're giving us 5. That's the thing. Well, considering United was only our 4th clean sheet in 16 games, can we get 2 clean sheets on the bounce? I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go 3-0 City. I'm not even going to guess who's going to score the goals. Edison scores a long range. 3-0 would be nice. The pressure is on because we've got to keep those results coming along because obviously it's tight. Liverpool are 1 point behind us. Spurs are 2 points ahead. Villa, who we keep saying they'll probably drop off, but hey, they're the top scorers in the league. Joint top scorers with Newcastle in the league are Villa. So I think we just said it before. If you take away their first game of the season, they've not let too many goals in. So it is going to be, I think it's going to be a very tight season. And we've got to keep grinding out these results because we've got some tough games.
We've got to get the goal difference up. That's the thing. We've got to get this goal difference up. I'm not used to being behind on goal difference.
Well, the thing is, actually, that's an important thing to consider, because goal difference, when you get so far ahead of the other teams, it puts pressure on them because they know that they just can't catch you. They've got to get ahead of you because the goal difference is such a factor. But, we ain't, we're way down at the moment. Villa and Newcastle have scored 26 each. Liverpool, Arsenal, and Brighton have scored 23. And then it's Spurs and us with 22. But let's put it right this weekend. Let's put it right. Let's get 3 or 4 goals, and
or 5.
You're getting greedy, Bernard. You're getting greedy. Well, enjoy the game, mate. I know you're going. I'm off up to Edinburgh. I'm doing some work at a big bonfire event up in Edinburgh, not Glasgow. A bit of problems over there with the football at the moment, isn't there? With Celtic and Rangers fans listening on the radio anyway, causing a bit of aggro with pyrotechnics and stuff. So I'm well away from that. I'll be in Edinburgh for a couple of days. All right, mate. Cheers for that. Guys, look after yourselves. Enjoy the game at the weekend if you're going, and enjoy watching it on the telly if you're not. And hopefully we will be back to give you a review some point next week. Thanks a lot, mate. Take care. See you around, Blues.